my name is Morgan. This is my Section 8 practice class. The theme of this class is spring cleaning. It's also a full moon today, so we're going to do some cleaning out of the old, some turning towards the new as we have a fresh moon start. Feel free to grab some blocks that we'll use throughout. And this will be about a 20-minute class with a Shavasana at the end. If you would like to lay down and close your eyes at the end for the Shavasana, feel free. If you would like to take another pose, feel free. We will be doing some arm balances and have the chance to do a headstand in this class as well. I'm practicing cueing some more kind of intermediate level maneuvers, but I will also give some choices. So if you are not interested in doing arm balances or headstands or any of the moves, there'll be choices throughout. All right, we're gonna start with breath of fire to get ourselves warmed up and just clear out our sinuses if you're having any spring allergies. And again, just work on spring cleaning. Before we start, if you're comfortable in your seat, feel free to set an intention for the class. If there's anything that you're setting behind or turning towards, you can focus on that now and just take a breath with that intention. You can either have your eyes open or just a soft gaze on something in front of you, a drishti to focus on. For breath of fire, if you so choose to, and if you don't have high or low blood pressure and want to try this, you'll take a breath in and then use your abdominal muscles to just do short, forceful exhales through your nose. And then inhale again. Short exhales. Inhale one more time. Exhale. And just a regular inhale and exhale. All right, if you're ready, come to the top of your mat and we're gonna start with our asanas. All right, we're gonna work, continue to warm ourselves up. So we'll just start in chair pose. Before we start with that, just make sure that all four corners of your feet are comfortable on your mat. You're in a nice tall Tadasana mountain stand. Root down through the earth that we're especially so grateful for in the spring season. And then we'll move to chair pose, where you just bend your knees and sit back like you're sitting in a chair. If you're comfortable, bring your arms up, biceps by your ears, and breathe here. You can stay here or come back to mountain pose, that standing pose. If you'd like to twist, continue your spring cleaning. Bring your hands to a prayer at your heart, and then your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Bring those prayer hands to your chest, and if it's comfortable for your neck, look up to the ceiling and breathe here. You can stay here. This is a wonderful place to be. Return to chair or mountain. Or you can look down, check that your knees are tracking over your foot, and step back to a revolved low lunge. Breathe here. On your next exhale, you'll bring your foot back to meet your front foot. And on your next inhale to chair, you can stand up and stretch your legs, bring your arms down. We'd be remiss if in a spring class we didn't do a tree pose. I'll turn sideways so you can see. In tree pose, you can keep your toe on the ground and just bring your heel to your ankle. You can bring your foot to your calf or up higher in your leg. Just make sure not to push on your knee. Wherever is comfortable for you. You can bring your hands to the heart. Again, try to find a spot that you can gaze at stilly, your drishti. If you want to be a tree growing in the spring, you can stretch your arms up. If you're wobbly or fall out, that is fine, the wind blows. Trees are sturdy. You can just come back to it. Breathe here. And then you'll step back to the top of your mat. And we'll do that on the other side. Again, plant all four corners of your feet with your hands flat, and we'll go to chair pose. Again, sitting back. Check that your knees are not past your toes, biceps by your ears. You can stay here or return to mountain pose, or do the twist on the other side. Prayer hands to your heart, and then right elbow on the outside of your left leg. You can take your gaze to the ceiling if that's comfortable for you, and breathe here. Again, you have the option, if you so choose, to raise your right leg and stretch back for revolved low lunge. And again, on your next exhale, you'll bring your right foot back to meet your left foot at the top of your mat. Bring your arms back up to chair on the inhale. This time on the exhale, move to a forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And just let yourself ragdoll here. You can shake your head left or right, side to side. Take some breaths here. And on your next inhale, come back up to stand, arms up, and hands to heart. We'll move to tree on the other leg. So now your right foot is rooted down, all four corners of your foot on the mat. Left foot, heel at your ankle, or heel against your shin, or leg up against your thigh, whatever is comfortable for you. Hands at your heart. Eyes on that spot, a drishti. Bring a smile to your face. We're so grateful for Mother Earth in the spring. Breathe here. If you want to grow spring branches and leaves, stretch out your tree arms. Breathe. Bring your hands back to your heart and feet to the ground. Feel free to pedal out your feet. Stretch your feet a bit if you want. Now you're going to step wide on your mat. You can turn your feet out if it's comfortable. And you're going to come to goddess pose. This is a second position plie if you ever did ballet. And you'll put your arms out strong. This is a powerful pose for any prenatal participants. Get ready for that birthing ball and opening up those hips. And just breathe here. You can move side to side if that helps you to feel comfortable, or you can breathe and be still. Again, we're warming up our bodies just as we're warming up in the spring. And bring your arms to cactus arms or goddess arms. Bring your elbows back. This is like a goal post if you need the football metaphor. And breathe here. Notice what this does for your chest, your heart. You may be able to bring the wings of your shoulder bones together. And then I invite you to straighten your legs. Bring your hands to your hip. Turn your feet forward, and we'll go to wide angle forward fold. So you bring your hips back and just tip your head forward, flat back. Go as far as is comfortable. If you want to have your blocks nearby to balance on, if that helps you to feel comfortable and sturdy, feel free to grab that block. If you want to put your hands down on the ground, that is also a great place to be. Take a breath. Come to a flat back. And when you exhale, let your head fall
to the ground as much as is comfortable. Again, you can move your hips from side to side and just breathe. We're changing our perspective in the spring, changing our perspective, these motions. If you want to open your shoulders more, you can clasp your hands behind your waist and let them fall behind you. Breathe. Keep a small micro bend in your knees so you don't hurt your knees. And now bring your pointer and your middle finger around your big toe, and you'll clasp those with your thumb. Just give that big toe a squeeze. This activates our liver and our spleen meridians. Again, just flushing out our systems. You'll bring your elbows out to side, east and west. And again, just breathe. Let your head relax. On your next inhale, you can have your hands on the ground or at your waist
to come back up to stand. Beautiful. For our next series of poses, you're going to come to your knees to cat and cow. So you'll bring your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. You'll notice that I do some of these poses on my fingertips. I have a bit of a wrist injury. If your hands are flat, think about putting energy into the bases of your fingers, your Hasta Bandha, or sort of doming your hands a little bit, pulling your thumb or your pinkies together to keep that pressure off your wrist. We're going to inhale and let our head and our tail come up for cat-cow pose, and then exhale.
Bring your belly button to your spine and round your back. Inhale,
head and tail to the ceiling. Exhale, belly button to your spine and round your back.
Do that 2 more times with your own breath at your own pace.
We'll move to another twist now to keep doing our spring cleaning. Bring your right leg over your left leg and just sit back into cow pose if that's comfortable for you. If that's not comfortable, you can stay in cat and cow or even sit back to child's pose. Your right knee is underneath, so you'll bring your right arm up and behind your head. If you want to grasp it with your left hand, that's great. If not, you can just reach them towards one another and breathe here. Unravel those arms. Do a twist to the right and breathe. Your left hand can be on your knee. And untwist to the other side. You'll lean forward again, back to that cat and cow. And this time you'll put your left leg over your right leg. You can just stay here and feel the stretch there. Or again, you can sit back into cow pose. Help open those hips up. Here your left leg is on the bottom, so left arm up. Bend it behind your head, and you can, if you so choose, bend your right arm to work towards a bind in the back, or just stretch your hands towards one another. And breathe here. Notice the sensation in your hips and your arms. Unlink your arms, twist to the left, right hand on your knee, and to the right. And come back forward to cat or cow. All right. I invite you now to curl your toes behind you. I'll turn sideways so you can see this. And if it is in your practice, you'll just come to, you're welcome to stay here or to push back into child's pose. And just breathe and stretch here. If it is in your practice, you can curl your toes and push yourself back to a squat position. I don't think this has a yoga name pose, but it's just a preparation for crow pose. Before we do a crow though, let's do one more twist. Continue to massage our organs and clean them out. So take your left arm under your left knee and right arm up. Look up towards your right hand and breathe. Hands back to prayer. Right hand under your right knee, left arm up, and breathe. And bring your hands back to a prayer at your heart. If it is in your practice here, you can try a crow or stay here or go back to child's pose. For crow pose, you'll put your hands down in front of you. Again, spread your fingers wide like a starfish. Press the base of your finger knuckles to the mat. And just tip forward with your knees on the backs of your arms. If you come forward a little bit, that's lovely. If your feet levitate, that's also fine. And breathe. And when you're ready, just tip back to your toes. Come back to your knees and to child's pose. You can feel free to stay in child's pose or cat and cow, or if it is in your practice, you can do a headstand here. Again, we're working on changing our perspective, looking to forward. For headstand, you'll link your fingers together. Put the top of your head on the mat with your fingers behind your head. And then bring your hips up to the sky. If you want to stay here with your feet on the ground, this is a powerful inversion. If it is in your practice, you can bring your feet off the ground together, bending your knees, or with straight knees if that's your practice. You can stay here with your legs bent, or if you're feeling steady, stretch your legs up to the sky and breathe here. On your next exhale, bend your knees again or straighten them and bring them down slowly to the mat. And return to child's pose. Notice how your body is feeling with the blood moving towards your heart and your head. Come up to your knees, and we're just going to do one more twist on our back before moving to Shavasana. So I invite you to come to your back, and we're going to do supine pigeon on our back to open our hips before we do Savasana. So you can bring your right ankle to your left knee. You can stay here if that's comfortable for you. If it's more comfortable to be sitting up, you can also do this pose sitting with your foot flexed to protect your knee. Or again, if this is a prenatal class for you and you don't want to be laying down, you can do this pose sitting up. If you wish to lay back, You can thread your fingers around your left leg and pull the thigh towards you as is comfortable. Breathe here. Bring your left foot to the ground and then cross your right leg over your left leg. Bring your arms out to the side or back to that cactus position and just tip your legs to the left for a supine twist. Breathe here. Bring your legs back to the center. Uncross your right leg. Bring your left ankle to your right leg. Again, you can do this sitting up or laying back. Thread your arms around your right leg and bring your right knee towards you. Flex your left foot to protect your knee. And breathe. Bring your right foot to the ground, cross your left foot over, and cross your legs to the right. Bring your arms out to the side or up to that cactus pose, and breathe for our final supine twist. Bring your knees back to the center, uncross your legs, and I invite you to let your legs out flat, your arms out flat, comfortable. If you want to tense your feet and then your hands and then release them to relax, you may. If you want to roll your wrists or ankles or anything else to feel comfortable before your Shavasana, feel free. And then try to bring yourself some stillness. I'm going to sit up and keep track of the time so that you can relax and breathe. Let this practice integrate in your body. Remember, we're trying to let go of anything behind, clean it out, and move and turn forward. So sit and breathe for the next minute or two, and just enjoy this Shavasana. Be grateful for your body. And after 2 minutes, I'm not going to make you sit through all of that. I invite you to start moving your toes and fingers to just bring some motion back into your body. When it is comfortable to you, roll to one side. You can hug your knees to your chest in a fetal position, and then come to a comfortable seat. If it's comfortable for you, bring your hands to your heart. Express some gratitude to yourself for coming to the mat today. Revisit that intention. We're letting go of something behind us, moving towards something new. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.